This is a weird year. It's our warmest winter in recorded history, and we've got a fucking pandemic happening. Yeah, right over there, about 50, 60 miles, just went into a state of emergency, Ticino, Switzerland. And that's because they're getting a big outbreak over there. I'm very disappointed in the way the Swiss reacted, not closing borders sooner. But it's always difficult decisions. And this is something. This lift may close within the next week. It's supposed to be open until the end of March, and our valley over there is open until the 13th of March, and the next valley is open until the 19th of April. April. But that could all change. So they closed all the ski areas over in Lombardy a week ago. And I took my time coming up here to make sure I got my own gondola, not standing in line. I walked. Normally I could almost ski to the lift, but because it's such a warm winter, I ended up walking 15 minutes instead of taking the bus, because evidently there's just been some information released from China that they have CCTVs on all long-range buses, and they determined that a guy with corona infected. This is on between two cities within several hours. Infected people up to 6 seats away. That's a big distance. That's like. If you get on a bus and there's 5 people on there, it's possible if one of them has it that you can catch it from them, even if you stay far away. And evidently the virus can stay airborne, alive, or not alive, it's not alive, basically, but it can stay airborne for 30 minutes. So it's just, it's a bunch of shit. But it's just amazing how I knew this was the case, but the Swiss, or just all people in general, I think Americans are way more aware of the possibility of disaster. I'm not sure why that is, but I think the U.S. is going to come out on top of this. Especially with Mr. DT in the commander-in-chief seat. It was good that he closed the European borders. There could be many reasons for that. It could be actually saving the airlines, while at the same time helping protect the spread. There's no real reason for people to be traveling now. There's none. And it has to be slowed down. If it isn't, there will be major infrastructure problems, which people just don't understand. There's 70 days worth of food in the world. That's it. So our food systems are very dependent on moving food around from one hemisphere to the other, dependent on big ships, which are dependent on people, which, there's all kinds of things that can go wrong. And here, they just did a survey among Swiss, and 70%, was it 70? No, yeah, 67% or something, have very little or no worry about this. This is last week, about corona. And another 25% have very little, where it was only 8% that were very worried about it. So guess how many people actually prepared for it? Even those 8%, they won't even be preparing. In Switzerland, they since World War One, they had a severe problem with food because they import 50% of their food, and during a war, it becomes very difficult to move things like that around. A week ago, Switzerland told us, don't wear masks unless you're sick. And yet, when it broke out in Singapore, the Singaporeans immediately issued face masks to everyone and made it a requirement that everybody had to wear them. And Singapore seems to be doing quite well with it. So obviously, masks are something that help. The reason they said don't wear masks unless you're sick is because they don't want people to go out and buy up all the masks, and then the medical personnel don't have enough because they don't have enough, which is evidenced by Monday a supply truck from Germany with hundreds of thousands of masks was stopped at the border and was not let into Switzerland by the Germans because Germany banned exports of essential medical supplies like that, and there'll be more stuff, and I can guarantee you there will be food problems in some areas. Just the fact that people don't have enough at home, they have to go out. People have to man the stores. Somebody does. Military. I don't know who it'll end up being. I actually predict that if this goes on the way it is, it's highly likely within 12 weeks we will be under martial law in most of Europe. Just people do not. When they put the first area under quarantine in Ticino, I have a couple old employees that live there, and they were just furious. Why couldn't they go to church? Why couldn't they have people over to their house? Why couldn't they, they were just so unaware of the seriousness of it. And you can see now it's a disaster. Anyway, we're gonna go up and do some turns in some slush and listen to the fighter jets flying their exercises around here. That's the creek that runs beside our house, Mühlebach. This is the best restaurant up on the mountain, Bort. And then I'll be skiing right down over there. So hopefully I get to do this for another 2 weeks. Hopefully the whole season, but the likelihood doesn't look so good. So see you later, bye.